Hello everybody, this is Mark with Sourwood Branch Bee Farm, and I want to show you something today. I saw a question on one of the pages this morning, and it was talking about still seeing a lot of hive beetles in some of the colonies, and so I want to give you a suggestion as to what I do to try to help some. You see, this is a very small colony. They're laying brood. They got stores, and what I do is I go in here and catch the queen. They've got some nectar stored in this frame, but there's some beetles running around there, and those beetles are eating up some of the bees' stores and what they're bringing in, the pollen, and they're trying to survive in there. I'm gonna put this one back in, and this middle one right here is where they're laying on. That's where the majority of the beetles are. So first thing I want to do is go in and catch that queen. There she is right there. Be very careful with these clips. Make sure you can see the queen. Make sure you see her walk up on the clip before you close it all the way. Because you don't want to catch her head right in the clip when you close it up. The bees can get in and out of here, but the queen can't, which I'm sure most of you know that. Okay, we got her in there very nicely, but there are eggs and larvae down in these cells, and I believe that the beetles, because they like protein, will eat those larvae, those young larvae. I think they eat on them. It could do damage to them, and it could really slow up your colony. You see them crawling in here? Now, there are some bees hatching out, and so there are some nurse bees in here. So what I want to do is shake these out on the top, and I'll refocus the camera so you can see that. But when we shake those out, those nurse bees, they can't fly. See, there's a nurse bee right there, an old gray looking. She has not been long hatched, but we want them to go back up into the hive. So I'm going to shake these out in the front of the hive, and I'll make a little ladder so that those girls can crawl back up in there. Okay, so I think you can see this right here. This is going to be our ramp. I took the top, flipped it over, so it has, you know, the smell of the hive anyway. And then this out here is going to be where we shake the bees onto it and try to smash those hive beetles. So bring the frame out. I use my hive tool. So let's get that ready. Alright, I shook the bees off. Now there are going to be some beetles, so we're going to get those guys first. And the beetles are going to keep trying to run up under the bees. That's where they're comfortable. And the bees are going to try to corral them. So try to slip in there and smash them. See how they're not running away? The beetles aren't so much. They're right up under these bees. So you can take your smoker and smoke the bees a little bit, and that'll drive the bees back. The bees that can fly will fly away, and the smoke will make the beetles move too. got to be quick, because beetles will get away from you. Now see, the bees are making their way. They're going to the hive. And I got beetles crawling on my hand and everything here. So what we want to do is clear this board off. And while you're waiting, you can smash what's on the frame. The beetles go to running when there's no bees for them to hide under. You might accidentally get a bee or two. I mean, it's better than having all these beetles running around. Okay, I'll tell you what, we got the beetles that are on this board. Didn't want to do that. So shake the bees off of that board, and now I can bump it like this and just get the beetles. Got to be quick, because they will fly off. Make sure we're still recording here. There's somebody trying to call me. I'll mess up my phone. Well, these are nurse bees. Let's bump them up there. And this, you can pretty much get all the beetles out of the frame. There's one hatching right there. So this is their little bit of brood they got going. And so we'll get the beetles out of here, and that will really make a difference in what the bees, and they don't have to chase those beetles around so much. Here's the other frame. Okay, you shake it off. Get the beetles that fall off the initial shake. Have to do this when it's warm, so that you don't chill your brood. But the earlier you can do it going into spring, the better. This time of the year, the beetles like to stick where the bees are. Now we'll bump this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There'll just be lots of beetles in this. Okay, now we got one more frame, which is on the other side of that brood. That's going to have some beetles in it, because this is our pollen frame. Then you go back and look at your frame, and you'll see if there's any beetles crawling in there. Shake them off or smash them, whichever way you can. Now I'm going to say we've probably gotten 90% of the beetles out of this colony, because it's still small and just starting to build up for the spring. I'll get you back on the hive. So now we can take these bees. Don't see any more beetles crawling on here, and just bump them back in the box. Okay. And put this back together carefully. Push all the frames together, and then I'm going to take my queen and release her back out right here on the where the brood is, where she was laying. There she goes. Now that will give us a boost to help those bees, because they are just, you see how many beetles we got on the board there that we smashed. There's a little nurse bee, so we'll put her back in there. There's a little bunch right there, so we'll go ahead and put this back like a ladder so they can crawl in there. Smoke them a little bit. That'll run them up out of there. They'll start going up that board. Go home. They can smell that box. So now we'll smoke these down a little bit so we can put the top on. And that'll do it. So just a little tip there on combating the beetles. In the wintertime, they like to get right in that comb, right in there with the bees, and they'll stay right where the bees are. They don't walk around the hive like they do in the summer, when you can put the traps in and catch them. So it's a little more difficult to catch them in the wintertime, because they're going to stay in that cluster where it's warm. So I like to go in and shake them out like I showed you there, and just smash them. They're done. There's one trying to get away. So I hope this helps, and please send up some comments, and hope you like the videos, and give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one.